What's going on, Wildcats? How's it going? I'm Brad, back with another LC Coaches Show, and today, once again, this week we're joined by our women's soccer coach, Sam Etherington, as we chat about what is, crazily enough, the end of the season is here. The last two matches coming up this week against Ozarks and Tyler, and we'll get into all that and some senior stuff and a couple other things that are going on this week. But before we do, got to talk at least a little bit about last week, as much as you may not particularly want to.
No victory here this week.
You may have noticed already. Didn't want to bring any more attention to it than we needed to, but unfortunately, after 2 weeks in a row, no victory here today. But tough week. ETBU kind of knew they were going to be a tough match. And then even against Laterno, a match we certainly felt like had a chance, but just one of those days where two matches in a row, Thursday and Friday, and just didn't go your way.
No, 2 matches, 2 injuries, 2 losses. It's been a rough week to say the least. Yeah, ETBU were good. I probably expected us to challenge them a little bit more. And then Laterno definitely expected more of a challenge out of that game, or at least a point out of it, but it wasn't to be. I couldn't really tell you why, Brad. I'm a little bit lost as well. It's been a rough few days. But yeah, it's been a tough week, and we're hoping we can go into this week and make up for it at least.
And now I know, moving the game from Saturday to Friday. I mean, do you think that maybe have been a part of it? I know Laterno played on Thursday as well, and both teams were coming off of a match the day before, but certainly not used to it, not used to playing on back-to-back days like that. So do you think maybe that had a factor in Friday?
I don't want to give it too much credit, because I don't think it had a huge impact, because the struggles we had, I don't think, were fitness-wise. It was a lot of work rate and effort that was put out there. Yeah. There was times when I seen girls going at it hard, and then there was times where I watched them walk around the field. So, I think it was just, for some reason, it goes back to one of those days where just everyone wasn't feeling it. And you can get away if 1 or 2 people aren't feeling it, but if the whole team's not feeling it, you're going to end up with a result like you had against Laterno. So no, I don't think it played a big part.
Okay. Well, let's move on. How about that? Move on to this week.
That away.
Sweep it under the rug. We'll revisit it next year, I guess, maybe when we play them again.
When we win.
Yes. But Ozarks and Tyler this week, like we talked about, Thursday at 2 or Thursday at 5. Saturday at 2, right here at the Wildcat Stadium. So kind of in a similar situation to the guys are, as far as, you're starting to kind of prepare for next season. I know it's a very young team this year, a lot of freshmen, a lot of transfer people that'll be back next year. So is that kind of what your main focus is now, to try to start, maybe experiment some things and kind of see where people can do as you prepare for 2018?
We actually talked about that in practice yesterday. I said these 2 games for me, it's not like an end of a season game for me. This is a pre-season game for next season. We've got a really young team. We're only losing 3 seniors, and it's getting to the end of the year where players, if they want to, be impactful for us next year, if they don't want their position to be recruited pretty hard, like they've got to show it now. Right. We're preparing for next season. I know we've got good players that, like you said, they're all young. So we've got something to build upon. But this week, I'm asking questions of them, who wants to be here?
So talk about Ozarks specifically. I honestly don't know much about them, to be honest. And Tyler's a very, very good team. But what are you expecting out of this, knowing that you kind of challenge these younger players? Like, look, have an opportunity to make some noise here for next year. So what are you expecting to see from them, or hoping to see, I guess?
Ozarks, I'm hoping for a result against them. That's another team where I think we can get a result. Both teams have struggled this year. We're both at very similar records. This could be the difference between a position in the table. So, I've also challenged the girls, like, yeah, we're not making it a conference now, but you need to be looking to not finish bottom of the table,
right,
because the past few years that's always happened. So this is your chance to actually do something other than finish where everyone else at the beginning of the season thought you were going to finish. So Ozarks going to be a big game for us in that sense. Very similar type of players. Tyler's going to be a little bit tougher, but they've struggled this year.
Yeah.
So I think we can go in there with a little bit of hope that we can snatch something from them, especially because we're at home, especially because it's senior day. So yeah, 2 big games. Season is not dead and buried just yet. We've still got a little bit to play for.
To fight for, yeah. Don't want to get relegated. Right.
Don't want to get relegated like Newcastle.
That's anyway, English Premier, whatever. All right, so you mentioned Senior Day on Saturday for sure, and you have 3 that are going to be playing their last matches. So I want to give you a chance to kind of talk about them, what they've meant to you, what they meant to the program. You got Jamie Trahan, who's played a lot of different positions for you for the past few years. Isabella Santa Maria and Emily Bryant, who's been kind of a staple on that back line for her time at least. So talk about what they've meant to you, to the program this year, just in their careers.
Yeah, they were, I think, sophomores when I came in, so they were quite young, just babies at that point. Jamie, you're right, she's played everywhere. She's always wanted to play forward. I've had to rein it in a little bit, but we've moved her up the field as it's gone on, and she got hurt this past week, but I think she's going to be okay for our senior day. She's just a workhorse. Like, she's going to be missed in terms of her work rate and just being out there in the field and being a presence. Like, she's always there, going to tackle someone or going to throw someone off the ball. So she's been huge for us the past few years. Izzy wasn't here when I started. She'd played in the past and then she came back onto the team. She's someone who just says exactly what she thinks, and sometimes it gets her in trouble, but sometimes it's exactly what's needed, and it's what I'm thinking, and I'm like, I'm glad you said it, because I would get in trouble. But yeah, we'll miss her kind of just personality to really not care and just say it how it is and put people in their place when it's needed to. And then sometimes I'm like, rein it in, Izzy. She's like, sorry. And then Emily, she's grown a lot since I've known her. I think the very first time I met her, I got the impression that she wasn't quite sure of herself, like didn't know if she was good enough. And then I think every year the more like she would play, she's like, okay, like I am actually good enough. So she would play more and more, and our junior and senior years have been years where she's had a big impact on the team, and just even in her personality, she's been able to be more vocal with the team, and that's why she was picked as a captain this year. So yeah, three players who've been big and had a big contribution to the team, but it's my job to go out there and replace them as much as they're going to watch and be like, oh, she's replacing me. But that's my job, and it could be a lot worse. We could have had 7 huge seniors, and that would have been a tough task. So we've had 3 good seniors, but I need to go out there and find people to make up what they're going to be leaving behind for us. That's
kind of the unfortunate thing about coaching, high school or college soccer. That you have these players for 4 years, and then they move on. So then you have to kind of find somebody to hopefully be able to fill their shoes as best they can. So it'll be certainly a fun time, and maybe a little bit of emotional time on Saturday as they play their final match. 2 o'clock on Saturday. You can check that out. They'll do the pregame recognition beforehand, about 1:30 or so on Saturday against Tyler. So be sure to make your plans to be there for sure. So there you go. Thursday at 5, they play Ozarks. Saturday at 2, we play Tyler. Last 2 matches of the season for women's soccer. Men's soccer, just come out and check it out. What have you got to lose?
It's your last chance this season.
There you go. Follow them on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the social places. And be sure to find the live stats links on our website, lcwildcats.net as well. Sam, always a pleasure. Enjoyed it. I'm Brad Welburn. Thanks for watching. See you next week. See you in a Brit.